Ah, welcome, everyone. We are live this beautiful morning. Listen, I wanted to name my room something salacious. I did. So we're going to say, listen, you cannot allow your face to be dragging all day long. Okay? You cannot allow your face to be dragging all day long. Yesterday we were talking and I said, "Well, you can't let your booty and your face drag. Like it's not, it's just not cool." Look at how much work we do when we go to the gym, making sure that we fit in our clothes and our jeans, but we do nothing to temper the thoughts that we have. So sometimes we walk out into the street and we are popping, we are fly, we are gorgeous, but our mind stinks, right? So what do we do? Clean up the mind. Clean up your mind. How do you clean up your mind? By making sure you're not having trash thoughts. You take out the trash. How? What is that persistent thought you're having all the time? And you know how humanity is. Humanity tends to flow towards, I can't. Oh, I'm not good enough. We tend to do this first. Those are the thoughts that we banish. Those are the thoughts that we take them out. We take out the trash with those types of thoughts simply because they don't serve us a purpose really, other than to show us, do you want that? Right? So when you get your thoughts, when you become aware of what you're thinking, ask yourself, do you want the misery that goes along with that? No. Well, then, what thought would be better? And it is not always just what thought would be better. Why would that thought be better? The thought would be better because the return on the thought is actually what you want, right? Remember, we're going through the weekend. Boot camp is tomorrow, but we're going through the weekend. And sometimes we forget ourselves. But the reminder is this: do you want the misery and the frustration and the angst that goes along with certain types of thoughts? If not, comprehend why. Don't just say, I gotta think positive. Comprehend why. Because positive thoughts are helpful to the body itself. But not just, it all depends. It's relative. If you feel like you can't move and you get angry, is that negative? No, because now you're moving. Now you're moving. But the thoughts that drag you down, the thoughts that burden your mind, why can't I? Why me? Not good enough. Those thoughts, do you want to reap the harvest that goes with that? No, you don't, because nobody loves misery. Even as much as they say that misery loves company, misery loves company because that's the only company it can get, other misery. And even if you see two miserable people together, they don't even want to be together because they don't like the misery. So remember, as we go through the weekend, do you want to reap that? If you want to reap that experience, keep having that thought. Keep having that same feeling over and over again. And you will. You'll reap it. But you see, you want something different. You want something better than what you currently have. Then hear it, see it, feel it, know it. Define what better is for you. And as you try it on, when you define what better is, you try it on. It's an attitude. You tell yourself things like, you know what, if my life were better, I'd get up in the morning and I would drink my tea in this fashion. I would walk my dog like this. I would do things like this. Right? That's the new attitude. That's what we practice on a daily basis. And I'm not going to stop telling it to you. You know why? Because it'll click. It'll click for you. Faith comes by hearing the word. So the more you hear it, your curiosity is aroused. And you say, wait, I know she's crazy, but ooh, what if she's right? Let me test this for myself. Because she seems to know. Well, I want to know for me. I can't just take her word for it. Let me test it out. She says I'm supposed to know what it is that I want. Do I know what I want? Yes, I know what I want. I want to experience. Now, she says, when I know what I want to experience, that it's supposed to make me feel a particular way. Let me see. How do I feel when I think about what I want to experience? You know, I feel it's a little far-fetched. I don't even think it's possible. But what if I just say, you know what? Let me just try it. I want to experience this particular thing. And you know what? I'm curious. I'm excited to want to try it out. And she says, even if I don't know what I want, but I know how I want to feel, I can feel it, and then the thing will show up. But you know what else this crazy woman says to me? She says, I've been doing it my whole life. What do you mean I've been doing it my whole life? But things just happen. Life just happens. I don't have any control over life. But I remember that one time I picked up the phone and I was thinking about someone, and before I could dial them, they called me. My phone rang. Huh. Well, that can't be a coincidence. You know what? I'm going to try it. And you know what you do? You walk out the door and you forget. But something happens throughout the day. You go, that's right. I said I was going to try this thing that she suggested. Okay, what do I do again? Okay, I know what I want. And she said it's like trying on a new shirt. Does it fit good? She says that new shirt's like a new attitude. So how would I walk into the Starbucks? How would I walk into the Tim Hortons? How would I carry myself with this new attitude? Can I see that? All right, let me try it. And you walk in there with a new attitude. You walk in there with a new attitude. And you begin to see things change. You begin to see things differently. And then you hear somebody say to you, wait, are you doing something different? I feel like you've changed somehow. And then a funny thing happens to you. Then you slide into my DMs to say, listen, I thought you were crazy, but I've been trying this thing and it seems to be working. Would it work if I tried to do it in this area? And then I respond, doesn't matter what area you want to try it in. Apply the same principle. Know what you want to experience. Try on the attitude of it. See it, feel it in your mind's eye, and rehearse it on a daily basis. And then just watch what happens. That's what I'll tell you. So you see, that's why I tell you the same thing, the same way every time. Because sooner rather than later, you will become aroused with the curiosity to test yourself to see what you are capable of doing in your own life. That's the whole point. You see, small children, they watch you, and they watch you, and they watch you until they feel bold enough to try it. And then we tell them, do as I say, not as I do. They can only do what they watch or observe you doing. Because that's how they learn. They have nothing to follow yet. They have no blueprint for themselves. So you're the blueprint for them. So they watch you, and they watch you, and they watch you until they become so curious that they want to see if they can do it too. That's what it is. Right? So today, my beautiful friends, as we go through the weekend, allow the curiosity within you to practice the law and see it work for yourself deliberately. Allow that curiosity to rise up within you. Allow it to rise up within you. Because it's a beautiful thing when you test it out for yourself. And he is awake real early today. But you get what I'm saying to you. Allow the curiosity to emerge. Don't stifle it. Oh, well, everybody else is saying something completely different. Everybody says try it this way. Everybody says try it that way. Everybody says do this, do that. You know what? All of them are nuts. I'm not doing anything. But still in the back of your mind, something says, test yourself. You see, at the end of the day, I always say to you, it's not the person you follow. Don't follow people. There is a pattern of life, however. That is what you deliberately observe and follow. The pattern of life. It tells us the all is mind. The universe is a mental creation. As above, so below. As within, so without. Everything vibrates. Nothing stands still. Everything is moving. And it is moving between two poles, left side and right side. But don't get it twisted. Left and right are not opposite. Positionally, they're opposite because one is on the left and one is on the right. But in their nature, they are one and the same. How? Because you can only plant corn and reap corn. That's why they're the same in their nature. But to move from seed to sapling, to stalk, to flower, and then to bear fruit, it is moving from the left, from where it started as a seed, towards where it's going, which is to fruition. So that's why it has to be the same in its nature. Because you must correspond with what is on the inside. The external must correspond. That is why polarity seems to be opposites. But they're not opposite. They are the same in their nature. They're just positionally opposite. They appear to be two, but there's only one thing that's growing. The corn that you planted. Not two things. It's just moving through a phase. But get this, from polarity, now there is a rhythm, a pattern that emerges, an ebb and a flow. That ebb and flow, it brings about a cause that matches an effect. And the effect can be used. The effect can be used to bring about the cause. So you see, from there, now we have the law of gender. The law of gender, we generate an idea and we project it or plant it, which is masculine. And where are we planting it? Well, in the dirt, in our subconscious minds, in the ether, in the quantum field. Where are we planting it? Wherever we plant it, it has to be the womb, the receptacle. Feminine. And that thing grows and matures and it just comes into your world as an experience. So you see, those are the principles that we are governed by on a daily basis. And they won't change, because as long as the earth remains, there shall be seed time and harvest. And the reason you practice, we can't see the bigger picture just yet because we're here. But beyond here, we have to use the same principle, mentalism. But we won't have form or shape. Which means what? There would be no delay. There wouldn't be a delay. So if you say corn on the cob with butter, there it is. It is instantaneous, because we here have the delay, because things are moving very slowly. So they take a little bit of time to come together, to take shape. So don't get it twisted. We always reap what we've sown. So if, you see, we go places and we do things, and we go to the salon, we go to the spa, and we do all the external things. But remember, the external follows the direction of the internal. So if you're having all of this work done, and your thoughts are still rubbish, still persnickety, still cranky, then it will show on your face. Indeed, it will. So change the interior, meaning change your thoughts. If your thoughts are carefree, if your thoughts are light, not heavy and dragging you down, well, then the face will not be downcast, will it? Thereby preventing wrinkles unnecessarily. We think that the law only works for a new car, a new house, a new spouse, a new job. You think that's what the law just works for? No, the law works for health as well. Health in all of its facets. But you won't know until you test yourself. Right? So as we go through the weekend, remember yourself. Don't let your booty and your face drag. Pick one. But if you choose the law, neither of them will drag. I'm just saying. If you choose the law, that booty will be perting upright, and you won't need Spanx or a girdle. And your face will have the light of glory shining from it, thereby maintaining your youthful essence. Oh, indeed. But don't take my word for it. Why don't you test it for yourself? How so? Because when the law has been ignited within you, you move. You move your body. You lift, you tighten, you tone. Oh, yes, you do. Because you've got the energy. You're spry. Oh, yes. You're not languishing. You're not depressed. Remember, a merry heart does you good like medicine, but sorrow rots the bones. So the bones are rotting on the inside. What do you think the face and the body looks like on the outside? So you see, the law is your joy. Why? Joy doesn't mean you laugh and giggle at everything. Joy means a knowing that you can change at any time. You can assume any state you want at any time. You have the freedom of choice. Nothing holds you in bondage. That's joy. Think about that for a moment. You're free? Yes. So if the mind is free, the body has to behave as if it were free also. So it's not bound with any pain. It's not bound by lack of range of motion for your joints. So you see, Look at the beauty of what you've been given and use it. Use it. That is the best compliment you can give, is to use it. Just like how the French tell you when you belch after you've eaten, it is compliments to the chef, huh? Well, using the law is complimenting the creator and saying, hey, thank you. Thank you. I can do this too. Thank you. See how gratitude just emerges from you naturally? We don't ever have to fake a single thing. Allow the law to sprout within you. It's like bamboo, I was reminded yesterday. It's like bamboo, the law. It seems like it takes a long time to even understand it or grasp it, but that's not true. The more you hear it, the more you practice it, just like bamboo, it burrows down into the very depths of your soul. Until then, one day, what does it do? Those little leaves shoot out through the surface. That's what it is. So you see, my beautiful friends, do not grow weary in practicing the law. If you look at your life and it's not going the way you want it to go, that's because you're having those thoughts that match. Try on a new way of thinking. But you notice, like with new shoes, when you try them on, you got to break those bad boys in. Until what? They become comfortable for you to walk in, and you forget that they're even new. Because that's what you did with the other thing, isn't it? It is a beautiful thing. Let us take a brief moment to welcome everyone into the space this morning, because I won't keep you long. It's symmetric. Beloved love troll, I see you. Thank you for being here on such a lovely... It is Friday, right? I don't even know what day of the week it is, but I do know tomorrow is Saturday, so I'm presuming today is Friday. Who's here on YouTube? Jeff is here. Queen Morant. Hello, darling. Say hello to the beautiful girls for me, yes? Not Ronay. I see you all. Thank you for being here on YouTube and Facebook. Fanbase who's here. Hey, KZ, Joaquin, Shea Butter, Miss McQueen. Hello, darling. It's been a while, hasn't it? Oh, yes. It's been a long while since I've seen you. Fawn, darling. Flo Smiles. Thank you all for being here. Indeed. Thank you. So this morning, as you hear the bowl and possible bird song, now he's quiet. As you hear the bowl this morning, see if you can feel that simple joy of knowing the law. Think about it. You know something, and you're learning how to apply it deliberately. How does that make you feel? See that part? That's what causes me to get up and say, thank you. Thank you, Father. You always hear me. That right there, knowing that all I have to do is practice being deliberate, and everything works itself out. It just happens. I just select my state. You know what helps me to not get ahead of myself? I recognize that when I go out to the garden and I put those seeds in the ground, my only job now is to water, weed, and fertilize. Well, I can't do anything else. Once I put the seed in the ground, I can't do anything else to that seed. The seed now does what it does based upon its present environment. The seed is now in a state, and all that seed can do, because it's been buried, yes, in the dirt, that state, all the seed can do is grow. I can't make it grow. I cannot make it happen. I cannot force the seed to sprout. I have no control over when it sprouts. My only job is to make sure that them there squirrels aren't digging it up. You know, those wayward thoughts of, is this working? Is that going to happen? No, that's not my job. My job is to remind myself, I got me a harvest coming in. Oh, yes, I do. I'm excited for my harvest. Let me make sure that all my things are ready to go so that I can start canning on time. I can taste those sweet sugar snap peas. That's what helps me to remember that I cannot force one single thing to happen in this world. I simply do what I'm commanded to do. I have a desire and I plant that desired seed. What is that desired seed? Well, if you say, I really would like to eat some strawberries. So what are you going to go to the garden center and get? You're not going to get a blueberry bush. You'll get a strawberry bush, won't you? Yes. So that you know the harvest is inevitable. Even though you have to share it with the squirrels, you know it is inevitable. Right? You see, in Barbados, when they plant double. Why? Because they have to share with the monkey. Because if you only plant for you, sorry, honey, the monkey will eat it. So you got to plant double so that the monkey will get some and you will get some. Because the harvest is inevitable once you plant the seed. How do you plant the seed? Acknowledging the desire when it comes upon you. Oh, that's what I want. So said, so done. Then I have it. I accept it as being, you have to accept it. Because to accept it is to plant it. Remember, you generate the desire. Because you can feel it, yes? That's what I mean by generate. It comes out of you. You say, oh, I want that thing. Now you've generated that. But it didn't stay in your mind. You had to plant it somewhere. Subconscious mind. You accept it and you say, yep, that is exactly what I require at this time in my life. That thing right there. Okay, it's done. And when you see weeds, is that going to happen? I'm scared. What if it doesn't happen? What if it doesn't turn out? See, those are weeds. What do you do with weeds? You pluck them out. You say, oh, look, there's a weed. There's another one. There. You pluck it out. How do you pluck it out? You remind yourself, hey, I did my job. I planted. The rest is up to you. Sprout, my beautiful sapling, sprout. That's what you do. That's what I do. That helps me to remember I can't force it. All I have to do is be faithful to select it and plant it. And rub my hands together in eager anticipation. Why? Because I'm going to get to reap the harvest. Hello? So this morning, as you hear the bowl and possible bird song, select your seed. Well, you wouldn't have had the desire otherwise. Desires aren't random. Oh, it isn't random. It sprang up because. Oh, yes. It sprang up because it is something that you want to experience. So this morning, with bowl and bird song, as per usual, if you're driving, just focus on the road. Plant your seed this morning and eagerly anticipate your inevitable harvest of that juicy fruit, whatever it is, car, spouse, house, career. Accept it. Accept it. Let's get the bowl. Let's get the bowl, y'all. Countdown initiated. 5, 4, 3, 2. Twitter, it's Symmetric and beloved love troll. Thank you very much for being here today and spending time with us. YouTube, Facebook, fan base. Thank you all for being here. Remember, boot camp is still available. It doesn't start till tomorrow. And you can always pre-order your Hermetic Oracle cards. When we reach 60 decks, I'll let you know. That is the minimum required for printing. So, I'll see you tonight for the lecture, Infinite States. Oh, this is going to be a fun one. So, I'll see you tonight, my beautiful friends here on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Fanbase. Much love. Let's see. Twitter is closed. All right. Thank you, Queen Marat. All right.